How we doing today?
My name is Daniel.
Daniel, what's your name?
Jasmine.
Jasmine.
He's
And this
Alex.
is Alex.
Jennifer.
Having fun today?
Yeah, it's
Huh?
You're not going for a ride.
No, we can't go for a ride, but you guys can see the fire truck.
Wildfire threat to the island of Hawaii doesn't only affect this island, but affects all the islands in the island chain, as well as in the Pacific. We have a very dense forest land throughout the islands that's very fire prone with wildland. So what we want to make sure is that everybody has the right knowledge and understanding of how to really protect and prevent fires from affecting them through the wildfire threat. There's a couple of things that is important to kind of talk to about this, though. The fire threat that we face is not just the fire itself. A lot of times we see a small fire going and say it's kind of localized, it's not a big threat. There's some third and fourth order effects, though, with those fires that you may not be aware of. A good example would be if we had a fire. We're very limited resources on this island. That's why our mutual aid agreement is so strong. Because our resources are limited, when we're fighting a fire out, and whether it be a small one in Kauai or something, it draws resources from Kona and from Waimea. It draws resources from Waikoloa. And what that does is it reduces the amount of emergency services that can actually respond if you have a medical emergency or a structure fire, traffic accident, or anything that happens within your communities. And then additionally, down the line, the runoff from these types of fires, the ashy soils and the topsoil, makes its way down into our oceans and gets into the reefs, and it severely impacts our reefs. So even with the smallest of fires, we can have impacts that last years on end and actually have detrimental effects to the overall ecosystem within the islands.
Yeah, you know, a lot of times wildfire isn't on the radar for people unless there's been a fire recently or burning very close to their neighborhood. And the message that we're trying to get out is actually that wildfire has these long-lasting impacts that may not be directly during a fire event. You know, wildfires harm native forests. They leave lasting impacts with invasive species. Post-fire, we have post-fire erosion that actually smothers coral reefs. And these events can actually happen years to decades after the fire event. And so we're constantly dealing with the impacts of wildfire, even though we're not constantly seeing them on the ground. And so what we want to do is raise awareness, because when fires do occur, they're really significant and very serious, and they have impacts from summit to sea. And so what we're trying to do is to increase the prevention side of things so that we don't get to that situation. So actually wildfires have broad impacts in terms of affecting air quality, water quality, the availability of drinking water and water supplies, coastal resource health, fisheries. And so even if it's not adjacent to a fire, these impacts actually spread out far and wide, and in the end all of us are impacted by wildfire. It's just that some of those impacts are more invisible than others, and so people aren't quite as aware as they could be. And
at least he had better luck than me. My brother Daniel had the most luck.
wow, that's the extra special prize there. And all the way out the bottom, you won a hacky sack. Yay!
Well, I just first learned about the organization itself, and I'm a little bit more aware of the environmental aspects, but I am hoping to learn more about how it's specific to Hawaii, and what specifically Hawaii has problems with.
And understand how it works.
These are called the true leaves, actually.
Are they telling me something about temperature or anything like that when they close and open?
I'm not sure, but generally plants will do that. Closing, they're trying to prevent transpiration, trying to keep the water inside the plant.
You know, I have also considered possibly places in Puna, the Hawaiian Paradise Park area. Those are heavily forested, but they just had a recent lava flow about 2 years ago that endangered that area. So I would like to know how to make my place a little bit more fire safe and more fireproof, as well as just, you know, concern for the environment. The coral reefs have been suffering from a lot of the runoff from recent fires, wildfires, and to see the connection between land, sea, and air. So that'll be interesting to check that out.